My name is John McTague. I am here because I'm teaching a class at Towson University on racial and economic inequality. And so I have students are required to do 12 hours of work with the sixth branch this semester. Instead of doing a research paper, they're coming down and doing this sort of work. So I'm out here doing it with them, so I'm not a hypocrite.
Nice.
They've seen me busting my butt along with them. Maybe I'll have a little more credibility.
Cool.
For the goal. And really the goal is to get them, it's at Towson University is where the class is, so it's to get them out of Towson and down, 7-8 miles down York Road, Greenmount Ave, to be engaged with their broader community that isn't that far away but has a different life experience.
Absolutely.
And start getting them doing things rather than just talking about things.
Absolutely.
So, as a teacher, I talk a lot about things, and it's good to get out here and actually do something that's relevant to the material rather than just talk. So,
could you give an example of how some of this hands-on experience relates to like what you talk about in class? Just kind of tie the two together.
Yeah. So, for instance, I was out here a couple weeks ago at the Oliver Farm site, just east of here. And I had 6 of my students were there that day.
Nice.
It was 65 degrees outside.
It was a beautiful day. I was there. It was beautiful.
Oh, you were there too?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So for instance, we've been talking in class about how the deindustrialization of cities left people without employment opportunities, and what happens to neighborhoods when the economic opportunity goes away, and whether people are wealthy or poor based on how smart they are, their effort, their ingenuity, or is it because of the opportunities that they had where they grew up? If you grew up in a poor neighborhood, are you going to be poor? And so, for instance, we were working on mulching some of the fruit trees on the other side of the tracks from the farm, and we saw the postal guy walk up. And there's the row homes. Maybe one of them is occupied. The rest are all boarded up, and we're all. And then he's walking by, and he puts the mail in one slot, and that was something that my students talked about afterwards. Like that really, just seeing the mailman walk up and
seeing 12 homes and one home gets mail.
One of them gets mail was like, oh wow. Another student was talking about how there was a little boy playing basketball outside on not as nice as these rooms over here. It was the room was kind of facing the wrong way. Like throw it through the hoop instead of in and over. And she was just talking about like watching him playing basketball and thinking about like, this kid didn't have a choice about where he grew up and what kind of opportunities were available to him. And she was reflecting on how, she came from a really nice middle class neighborhood, went to private schools, and so she was just like sort of observing her surroundings and thinking about how opportunities that she had were different from opportunities probably the kids who grew up around here. So I think even just getting them out here, and it's the first time that a lot of students have seen, they never would have a reason to come to a neighborhood like Oliver.
Absolutely.
Unless they were told to. Yeah. And so just to get them to see a different neighborhood and see a group like the Sixth Branch. The other thing I really like is the example that the Sixth Branch sets. It's a group of people who realize that they had a skill set that could be put to use to benefit their community. And I hope that by the end of the semester, my students, something clicks where they realize that they've been given opportunities and they have skill sets and knowledge that they can put to use. In addition to trying to get a job, which everybody wants to get a job, but being sort of engaged members in their communities. And I'm a political science. It's in the political science department, so getting them to think about citizenship is more than just showing up to vote every couple of years. Actually being a community member is a much more involved and valuable level of citizenship. So that was really great. I've got actually one of those two is in my class. The other one's her roommate. I dragged out today. So I'm interested to talk to her later.
So it's spreading already. That's good.
Yeah. About half of the class. There's 19 students. About half of them have been out to something so far.
Cool.
They have a deadline to get out here by April 1st to something. And then they do have to write a paper about it. But it's different from plugging away in the library kind of a paper. They come out here and they do something, and they
actually have something to write about.
Like what they did, not what they read about what somebody else did. So,
that's really cool.
It's exciting. It's the first time I'm doing something like this with the class, so it's totally new to me, which is another reason why I'm out here. So I know what they're doing, so I can have a frame of reference to connect it back to what we're talking about in class. So They also, in the class, they have to watch the first 3 seasons of The Wire.
Really?
So apparently that was filmed around here. So they're reading, you know, textbook type reading that you do in a class. They have to watch The Wire, and then they have to come out here and sort of tie it all together and make some sense of it.
Very cool, man. I wish I had a professor like you when I was in school. That would have been great.
Yeah. Well, it's fun, you know. That's the benefit of it is that for me, my homework is that I have to watch The Wire, so that I can talk about it too. So you know, this is the kind of stuff that I want to be doing, and so making 20 other people do it because I can. This little bit of power that I have over there in this class for a semester.
Well, it's the power to shape lives and to mold minds. So.
Well, I hope so. So we'll see how it goes. Again, it's the first time I'm doing it, so I don't know. It could be a complete failure.
I think it's going to go well.
I don't think it will be. I think it's going
to go well. I think you're onto something good.
Yeah, I
really
so.
do.
If so, I'll do it again. So be back out here with some other class sometime.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks for talking to us and telling us what you're doing today. Thanks for coming out today. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for giving me a break from trying to cut holes in my head.
All right. Let's get back to work.